I love how in every video now we're just like filming in a different location, like we're unlocking places that I can film. It's so bright in here. Yesterday I tried filming this video and it looked like really bad. Hi, I'm Nathan. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be telling you what I learned and the results from me doing a whole month without skincare. Before we get into that, I'm going to open this can of, what's it? Oh, sparkling water. So why I decided to do this video was because I was kind of getting tired of like not thinking of video ideas, and I was like, I feel like I should try doing something where like it takes a month and then I see what happens. But another reason why I wanted to do this video and why skincare was something that I thought would actually be an interesting video to do is because I've done skincare pretty regularly for like 3 years now. I don't know, is my skin used to it? Should I take a break from this? What should I do? And I also noticed that my skin wasn't really doing the best. I think especially 2 years ago, my skin looked pretty good. I got some compliments on it. Even when I thought my skin was bad, I would still get compliments of like, wow, your skin looks pretty clear. So maybe it's kind of like, I don't know what it's called. Is it called the Overton window? Something like that, where something changes in your life kind of gradually, so then you get used to it, so then you don't even notice it. So there's that like politically, but there's also kind of like lifestyle creep or like lifestyle inflation, where when you start making more money, instead of saving that extra money, you use it as an excuse to increase your means and like, oh, I can now buy this instead of like maybe making better financial decisions. So I thought that was kind of like where my skin was, where like my skin was so good for a little bit that like I noticed every pimple. That kind of decreased, and then my skin kind of just got to where it was before skincare. Actually, I feel like maybe my skin was better before I ever started doing skincare, or like when I just started. Like, I barely got pimples at all. So I'm not really sure why that is, but now my skin is not so good. So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. I can do this for a video, but I can also do this to see what my skincare is doing for me and if it's worth it. I've never been someone to buy expensive skincare. I'm trying to think of the most expensive skincare thing I've bought, because I have gotten expensive skincare as like a gift, but never like purchased it myself. I'm going to start off with sharing what I learned from this month. Then I'm going to get into kind of the results and showing you pictures. And then I'm going to give you a conclusion of whether I think my skin was better without skincare or not. But let's just get into it. So the first thing I learned is that skincare products aren't everything. There's so many other factors that like can determine what your skin is like. So, and just how your body overall is. Like, some people are like, eat healthy, and that's it. And other people are like, work out. And I'm not even just talking about skincare, but just having a healthy body. When it's like you need all of those things. Like, you need to sleep 7 to 8 hours. You need to eat healthy, eat things in moderation. You need to work out, get your body moving. And there's also other stuff that are just out of your control. Like, there's your genetics, which at least right now we can't control. I don't think I'm ever going to be in favor for people, like, changing their DNA on their own. Like, I feel like that's... I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, there's so many other things besides skincare. So, like, you can buy the most expensive skincare out there. I don't even know what that brand is called, but there's this brand that... It basically gives, like, audio-visual therapy to, like, seaweed, and then it uses that seaweed in the products. I don't even know what it's called, but it's super expensive, and you can buy that. And guess what? Your skin might not be perfect, because there's all these other factors. There's also hormones, which you can't control. If you're a teenager going through puberty, your skincare may help you, but it also may not do anything for you, especially if you have severe skin problems and you don't go to a dermatologist. I also wrote down that there's for women, like an example of something where acne isn't in their control would be PCOS, also known as polycystic ovarian syndrome, where acne is not the only symptom, but it is one of them. So that's just an example of like there's this syndrome with your body that like you can't control, and how your skin looks is one of those symptoms. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do? Like you can get treatment, but also that's inaccessible for some people. And also through my little research of what PCOS is, apparently some of the symptoms can be so mild that you don't even really notice them. And so you can like have PCOS and not really notice. And yeah, there's many other symptoms other than acne. Just since this video is about skincare, I wanted to bring that one up. So besides the products that you're using, there's so many other factors that determine what your skin looks like. The second thing I learned is that for me, the return on investment for the time and especially money putting into skincare isn't really worth it for me right now, which is why I'm so glad I've never been into like Drunk Elephant skincare, and just self-care in general has been so normalized to be an expensive thing, where I'm really glad I didn't buy into that and just stuck with like regular affordable skincare. But when I talk about the return on investment, it's not only just money I could have potentially spent on skincare, but also how much time I actually put into it. So like waking up early and like doing that. So during this whole month, I was actually waking up at the same time I always was, but I had like an extra 20 minutes, which I thought was insane. I was like, was I actually spending 20 minutes? Maybe I'm just really slow in the mornings, because at night I feel like I do skincare super fast, but in the morning, maybe I'm just slower. The third thing that I kind of learned, and maybe not learned, but more of observed and kind of questioned, was why do we care so much about what our skin looks like? It's one of those things where, like I mentioned before, there's so many factors that like some you can control, some you can't. Stress is one of those things where like you can control how you cope with stress, but also you can't control how much stress your life is giving you, really. A lot of people can't just quit their jobs, you know? You can't just like quit your job because you hate it and you get acne from your job. But in general, like, why do we care? If skin is something that really relies on genetics, your environment, why do we care so much? And I feel like a lot of the times in society, we put like value onto things that really don't actually reflect who a person is. Like a rich person isn't inherently good because they have a lot of money. Poor people aren't inherently bad because they have less money and may not be able to afford things in their life. Teeth, that's something where like if you notice like every celebrity, they have like perfect straight white teeth, where I'm like, I know you're not just brushing your teeth, like you're doing whitening, you're doing this other stuff. And then we also see people like aspire to look like these celebrities, like get expensive teeth, like dental care, and it's kind of weird. I'm gonna link some commentary videos or just deep dive videos that I've watched on it before about skin and about teeth. But I think it's kind of weird that we put so much value on these things that we don't have much control of. Obviously, if someone has a rash and it looks like they're having an allergic reaction, we should tell them. But if someone has a pimple on their nose, like, don't mention it to them, really. Or, like, you can mention it, I guess, but, like, don't be a dick. You know, like, just be like, oh, do you know you have a pimple? Don't be like, girl, you have a pepperoni on your nose. Like, don't say that. Just be kind. So, let's get into the actual month. Before this, my skin has always been oily. Before I started doing skincare ever, I think this is what's called the T-zone, where there's your forehead, there's your nose. That has always been oily, and that's also where I feel like I get most of my pimples. Whenever I get stressed, I get forehead acne, and that's when I know, okay, I should really manage my stress better, or just like stop pressuring myself on this thing. Also, I did have a few pimples and a few healing ones. So that's something that we're going to see if they get better, if they get worse. I'm not giving you any spoilers right now. A third thing was that I had a bug bite. I think it was on, I don't even remember which cheek it was on. It was so bad at the beginning of this month that it was actually one of my motivating factors for doing this, because I also felt that maybe my skincare wasn't helping it heal and maybe making it worse. And also, if you know anything about skin, like if you know stuff about skin more than I do, and it didn't look like a bug bite, please let me know down in the comments. I've gotten bug bites on my face before where I knew for sure it came from a bug. Number 4, I'm bad at picking my skin. I'm really trying to get better at it now. During this month, I would do it like throughout the day. I don't know what it is. Like I feel like my hands get bored. And so I'm like, oh, I feel like I have a pimple. Let me like try to pop it or let me try to pick at it. And that's like the worst thing you can do. But it's just been something that I really need to work on. So before I get into the results, I'm going to talk about the skincare I was using before doing this. So I honestly didn't really ever use a cleanser. I just used water on my face, which I know a lot of people are like, you really need a cleanser. Now I'm using a cleanser, but I wasn't really using one before this. But during the day, I was using the Ordinary's Niacinamide 10% and Zinc 1% serum. And then the Lush Grease Lightening Spot Treatment, which this I have actually noticed a difference with my T-zone. Like, it gets less oily, but it still doesn't fix the problem, which is why, like, it may not be worth it for you. If you want it to completely fix the problem, maybe don't get it. But if you just want something that improves it, then I would very much recommend it. Then this is something I've been using since I first started skincare, and I've kind of tried going away from it a bit, and then I was like, no, I don't know why, like I love this. So it's the e.l.f. Skin Holy Hydration Face Cream. It's a like moisturizer with sunscreen, which is why I really liked it. However, I'm trying not to shop at Target anymore, so once I run out of this, I'm going to be using like Trader Joe's skincare, and hopefully that works. And then at night, I was using the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid 2% plus B5 serum, which is kind of like more of a yellowish, kind of more than the niacinamide one. So I've been using this at night, and then I would also do this moisturizer from Youth to the People. I have the travel size one. I don't have it anymore because I ran out of it, so I don't have it to show you what it looks like in my bathroom, but I'll give you a picture of it right now. And then kind of weekly, I was shaving my skin. I don't know why I said it like that. I was shaving my face weekly before, and then I also was shaving it during this. And I'm mentioning this because I feel like if I didn't mention it, and then I mentioned it later, someone might be like, oh, you were lying, you didn't mention this. So I was using shaving cream while shaving my face because I didn't want to like accidentally cut myself or give myself razor burn. I don't know if that's a real thing or if that's just fake things that they use to sell us shaving cream, but I love this one from Lush. So I was using it before this month of no skincare, and I was also using it after, during, because I feel like if I wasn't shaving my face at all, and I was like taking the pictures, that it would be kind of hard to see the difference, especially since my cheeks are where I kind of see like dark spots or hyperpigmentation. Like I didn't want any like little facial hairs to mess with that. So I was shaving before this month and during this month. I wanted to mention that again so that it's not like I'm withholding information, but this doesn't affect what my skin looks like. It really only affects how smooth it feels after shaving, which is why I like it. It leaves my skin feeling smooth and not irritated. So it's not like it's really doing any healing for my skin. It's just protecting it when I shave. So now we're going to get into the results. This whole time, my skin had been feeling dry, like super dry. I really noticed this in the mornings and after showering, where, I don't know, maybe because like water was getting on my face and like drying it out, and I don't know why in the mornings. There's probably something scientific about that, like why your skin gets dry after showers and in the mornings, but that's when I really felt it on my face. So now let's get into the weekly pictures. So in week 1, this is what my skin looks like from the front. I have an RBF in these pictures, so I'm sorry about that. Just, I really wanted to, like, I don't know, not smile and give, like, what my face looks like when I'm not doing anything. So we have this red spot kind of on my forehead, or like in between my eyebrows, kind of. My forehead has a few red spots. My nose has a few red spots as well. Nothing really else that we can see in this picture. On my left cheek, we see there's some ingrown hairs on my neck. Now, I've never applied skincare on my neck, so those are most likely just ingrown hairs from me shaving. And also, I've never shaved that low before on this one, so I don't even know what that is. But we can see over here that there's some red spots they're red spotting. I don't know what else to say. Oh, we can also see there's some redness on my nose and a little pimple on the side of it. So this is the left cheek. We can see the bug bite has improved. It's really done its best here. And we also see some more redness and pimples on this other side of my nose. Also, there's kind of this pimple like above my lip, which I really don't like. We can also see some little red spots on my cheek and on my forehead. Now for week 2, my forehead, in my opinion, has gotten better. Let's see. Yeah, my forehead has gotten better during week 2. Less redness overall. The red spots are kind of disappearing, which is something I love. Kind of more of that redness on the side of my nose, along with some red spots on my cheek, kind of close to my ear. But then on the rest of the cheek, there's not really anything. We see this little spot on the top of my upper lip, which, yeah, probably ingrown hair because of my shaving. I'm not really sure, because I don't think we see it again. We can see here that the bug bite has really gotten smaller. It's way less noticeable, and it just looks like a healing pimple. We see some redness and another pimple under my nose and kind of to the side of it above my lip. So there's that, but the redness on this side of my nose is so much better. Now for week 3, this is where you really see the stress acne on my forehead. This is the right cheek. So we see kind of this pimple here. You can probably notice that I picked at it, which is something, I know I should not be doing. But you see that there. You also see this other pimple and just some red spots. There's these 2 pimples near my lip. I hate them, probably because of shaving. I honestly think some of these are just like ingrown hairs, because then they go away in like a few days and then they're fine. We see some redness on my nose, and then we also see a ton of red spots on my forehead. Here on the left cheek, we can see this is where the bug bite was, and obviously it wasn't like filling up the whole screen before, but I think it's way less noticeable. But we do see some other red spots that kind of look like it now, so now it doesn't really look like a bug bite and just a regular pimple. We see the redness on the forehead in this picture as well, and a little bit of pink redness on this side of my nose also. I noticed there's kind of like a few spots on my chin, which we hate to see those. So this is the front picture, so we can really see the forehead. That looks like, you can see kind of it drying too. Like there's some dryness to it, like skin kind of flaky, what some might consider kind of ashy. And you can see I've been picking at that. So this is week 4, the last week. At the end of the last week, I took these pictures at the end of each week. So we see there's some redness, some pimples. Yeah, more pimples, not really redness, but we see some pimples on this side. We also see there's something forming under my lip, on my chin. My nose has gotten better. The redness on this side of the nose has gotten better. That little spot in between my eyebrows, that's gotten better. I do shave in between my eyebrows so that I don't really have a unibrow going on. So I do shave there as well. And then we can definitely see an improvement in week 4 for my forehead. Like, this is week 4, this is week 3, and we really see an improvement where, like, my forehead isn't that bad, but it still has some of the stuff left over from week 3. We see there's a pimple that was kind of a little harder to see in the other picture, but there's that. And then the upper pimple, it's kind of healing since I stopped picking at it, so it's getting better, but we still see some red dots. I'm not sure if it's necessarily called hyperpigmentation, but we see that. And then on the left cheek, this is where we see there's the bug bite going away, but then there's like a red spot right above it that we see over here, along with some other red spots kind of on the side of it. Those, I was definitely picking at those. And then we see this pimple, maybe not pimple, but just red spot over here. We see a lot of flakiness and dryness on my nose, which I don't like. And then we also see my forehead kind of doing a little better in this picture as well. There's also some ingrown hairs like on my chin. So what is my conclusion for this video? Did my skin get better or did it get worse? And in my opinion, my skin got worse. So we did see in the first kind of 2 weeks, my skin was kind of, is rejuvenating the right word? It was just kind of healing a bit, but then during week 3, we really see stuff going on my forehead that I didn't like. But the main thing for me is just how dry my face felt. That for me is the main thing that really made me think, well, a moisturizer is definitely a requirement. But I've seen dermatologists that are online say really all you need is moisturizer and SPF. And I would agree with that because you can find cheap moisturizers with SPF in them, so it's not that high of a cost. Also, it's literally just one step. If you're just cleaning your face with water, hopefully you're getting a cleanser too, but hopefully you're cleaning your face. And those are really the only 2 things that I would recommend to anyone starting skincare. Like, if you don't have any bad skin problems, but you just want to protect your face and keep it moisturized and hydrated, literally just moisturize using a moisturizer and then use SPF. I think a lot of serums, they may help, but also some of them don't work that well and don't do that much. So if you have the extra money, then sure, go ahead, buy the serums, but I don't think that they're entirely necessary. Also, again, if you have severe skin problems, just go to a dermatologist. Do that. Do not waste your time and money on over-the-counter stuff if it's really not going to work for you and you have severe skin problems. If you get any redness or any bad reactions to a skincare product, do not keep using it. If you are a dermatologist watching this video, for some reason, I'm a very small YouTuber, so I don't know how you've stumbled upon this video, but leave your thoughts down below. If you know better than me and you're a dermatologist, please correct me with anything I've said in this video. Or if you agree with me, you can also corroborate things that I've said if you'd like to. I don't care if you disagree with me, just please be respectful, please be kind to other people in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye!